and welcome to the ghost town of California languages, where we mine through the bones of languages native to California. Welcome to episode 11, and Happy New Year! Today we will be talking about the Tachi Yokut tribe. They are just one tribe of the Yokuts, referring to the Central Californian people native to the San Joaquin Valley and the foothills of the Sierra Nevada mountain range. As I was making my way by car from Southern to Northern California, I was exploring a rest area and coincidentally came across an infographic about this tribe. I took notes for good measure and imagined them on their land as the wind blew on the crops and the plains stretched far beyond my eyesight. The Yokuts consisted of around 60 different tribes with a few related languages pre-European contact. The Tachi Yokut in particular are a tribe native to the Tulare River area. Therefore, in this episode, some information may be applicable to the Yokuts tribes in general. It's also very important to be wary when using the term Yokut. Some descendants find the term to be as offensive as it was a historical name referring to all these native peoples as one group. The word Yokuts means people. When saying Yokut, singular, it refers to the Tachi Yokut in particular. Some other Yokuts bands include the Chauchia, Choinumni, Chipchansi, Gashau, Lakisamni, and the Wukchumni. The Yokut is a federally recognized tribe with around 2,000 members enrolled today. Let's take a quick look at their origin story. A great flood occurred on Earth eons ago when there was nothing but water, now known as the Tulare Lake. However, there was a singular tree stump on which a flying eagle with a black crow on its back landed on. They often competed to catch the small fish swimming below them, but they always returned to their special stump they called home and shared their feast. Together, the eagle and crow thought of ways they could create land. They brainstormed an idea. They started to bring fish to duck, who supplied mud. While one was gone, the other would create a higher pile, until Eagle's Mountain became higher and higher. Finally, the flood started to subside. Eagle's share became known as the Sierra Nevada mountain range. Crow's, still substantial in size, became known as the Coast mountain range. Wow, what an epic origin story. Now we'll move on to some of the Yokuts' traditions and aspects of their overall lifestyle and history. The Yokuts were also called seed gatherers because no farming was done in the days before Columbus. Their main food source consisted of acorns, but they also consumed wild plants, roots, berries, deer, rabbits, and prairie dogs, all thanks to their geographical landscape. They also relied heavily on the Tulare Lake, when they were one of North America's largest indigenous tribes at around 20,000 people. This freshwater lake once served as a key source of not just water, but life for native tribes until the 19th century when it dried up as a result of agricultural irrigation and municipal water uses. Thankfully, the lake is being reestablished due to heavy rain in 2023. However, historically after floods reestablished parts of the lake, the water has repeatedly been used for farming. The Tachi Yokut are hoping that doesn't happen this time. They are excited for the lake's return because it allows them to experience and share their culture, what they previously had heard of only through songs. Another reason for the near extinction of the Yokut people is because of European contact. They were faced with illnesses like malaria, harsh working conditions imposed by the Spanish, and losing their land during the gold rush. In fact, in 1849, the first governor of California, Peter Burnett, was elected and demanded for the extermination of all Indians. The Yokuts really valued art, specifically music, singing, and painting. They used musical instruments including rattles, bone and wood whistles, and a musical bow. They also expressed themselves through tattoos and piercings. Like many other tribes, basket weaving was also their specialty, especially being known for the intricate designs woven into their baskets. They used their resources wisely, including the tule leaves and reeds surrounding the lake to weave baskets, construct homes, and create canoes to glide through the lake, which was around 687 square miles. Traditionally, chief systems were hereditary, and the position could be held by either men or women. Homes usually were mat covered with flat roofs on poles for shade, and up to 10 families lived in each communal dwelling. In terms of gender roles, men usually completed the hunting and fishing, while women were in charge of child rearing and home maintenance. Shamanism was also practiced in Yokut culture. Shamans were frequently believed to hold supernatural powers and were highly respected. They conducted ceremonies and also aided the sick. However, their powers could be used for both good and evil. One ceremony was to prevent rattlesnake bites using their sacred and healing powers. Another important tradition for the Yokuts was their annual mourning ceremony. This 6-day practice honors the dead who had passed away the previous year. Gathering together from different villages, the Yokut would engage in symbolic killing, destruction of property, the ritualized washing of mourners, and feasts and games. Now we'll be diving into the Yokut language and its status right now. To preface, the Tachi Yokut are a federally recognized tribe. In 1921, the U.S. government established the Santa Rosa Rancheria in Lemoore, California. However, the 40 residents lived under poverty level and did not have sufficient resources. Later on, however, by the 1980s, living conditions and education had drastically improved for the 200 members. Now, the education level is 12th grade and beyond, and great revenues are brought in through the Tachi Palace Hotel and Casino. As for the language, Tachi is an endangered dialect of the Southern Valley Yokuts. Linguists suggest that Tachi was historically one of the most widely spoken dialects. Valley Yokuts is a dialect under the Yokuts language. Yokuts, historically called Mariposa, is an endangered language of Central California. As the Yokuts tribes were wiped out, so was their language. Unfortunately, some dialects are extinct while others remain endangered. Today, there's less than 12 speakers of Wikchamni Yokuts, half a dozen speakers of Choinimni, fewer than 24 speakers for the Yawilmani Yokuts, and only a few speakers each for the Chukchansi and Tachi Yokuts. Mary R. Haas, one of the founders of the University of California, Berkeley's Department of Linguistics, reported that the Yokuts' language's structure is agglutinative, meaning speakers combine smaller morphemes to express compound ideas. She also noted that the language is highly symbolic. In terms of revitalization, in 1987, the Santa Rosa Rancheria started Tachi as a second language. This program directly teaches young children Tachi in hopes of reviving it and carrying it on to the future generations. Additionally, Chukchansi, a dialect of the Yokuts language, is now a written language. In May 2012, the California State University of Fresno's Linguistics Department used their $1 million grant to create a Chukchansi dictionary, fund scholarships, programs, and other efforts to support this beautiful native language. It was such a blast learning about the Tachi Yokuts language and culture. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.